My name is Steve Ramirez. I was a sports writer for over 30 years. And so a little bit ago, I decided um, I would do this video blog, just talk about sports, mainly SoCal sports, and just whatever is kind of the topic. I'll choose the topic of the day. And today, since it's Friday, just looking into what's going to happen this weekend. Um, the Dodgers are back from their road trip, splitting the last 4 games with Milwaukee, the Brewers are in the running for the wild card. They're still trying to chase down the Cardinals, but um, they're also in the running for the wild card. So it's not a bad series. Splitting those 4 games, but probably could have won 3 or 4. But they're still having problems at the back end of the bullpen. Craig Kimbrell has not really been the answer. He did get the save the other night. It wasn't a clean save. And he's just basically struggled all year. The save the other night was the first time he protected a 1-run lead, and I think his 5th or 6th try at that. So at this point, it's hard to trust him in October. But they still have maybe 3 weeks to try to figure that out. I still have a feeling they may go elsewhere in the postseason. So I wouldn't be surprised if they waived him at some point in September. The reason for not doing it now, you wouldn't want to cut a guy and then have another team pick him up and be able to use him in the postseason. And even though he's not pitching well right now, you never know when a guy might catch fire. So you don't want that to bite you. So they cut him September 1, for example. He would be, even if a team picked him up, he would be ineligible for the playoffs because he wasn't on that team's 40-man roster. So that's kind of I think that's the one problem they have. They didn't they started out slowly today and rallied, but weren't able to rally all the way back, and lost 5-3 to the Brewers. But they come home, 3-game series against the Miami Marlins. A series they probably should win 2 or 3. Sunday will be a tough game, going against Alcantara, one of the better pitchers in baseball, let alone the National League, and one of the guys who could win the Cy Young. So winning 2 or 3 will be important this weekend, I think. And then they play Milwaukee again for 3 games, and then go back on the road to Miami. And then I think they face the Mets for 3, I believe. So still have a big lead in National League West. They're going to win the National League West. And it's just a matter of trying to secure that number 1 seed in the NL playoffs. And I think they have a good shot at that. They have about a 5-game lead above the second best team in the league, the New York Mets, and also still have the best record in baseball. And so to get home field advantage throughout the playoffs and the World Series, if they get that far, it's going to be important. And so, but you still want to kind of rest your club. More importantly than getting the number 1 seed is make sure your players are rested and fresh for the postseason. So that's a little bit talk on the Dodgers on their weekend. And tonight, the Rams play their second preseason game after beating the Chargers last week. Bryce Perkins played the whole game. But tonight, it's backup John Wolford is expected to start and see some playing time. A couple ways to read into that. Obviously, he hardly played last year at all. He missed training camp due to an injury, a non-football injury, and played sparingly in the regular season because Matthew Stafford hardly ever comes out of a game. Backup quarterbacks don't play that much, even in blowouts. They usually keep the starters in there in the NFL. So he has played very little the last 2 years since playing in the regular season final to clinch a playoff spot against the Cardinals, and then he started the wild card game against the Seahawks and got injured. So he hasn't really played any. He's barely played since then, and so important for him to get some work in, just in case he's needed during the regular season. We hope not, but just in case. And also, I heard some things that they may be showcasing him a little bit. That they like the long view of having Bryce Perkins, that they may protect Perkins and not Wolford, expose him to the practice squad or waivers, thinking that teams might already be solidified in their quarterback room. Kind of a gamble, but that's what I've heard, and that's why he's playing in this game. Because normally Sean McVay doesn't play his. We know he doesn't play his starters, and usually anyone who they see as a weapon or will have an impact, they usually hold him out of the preseason. So it's kind of interesting that Wolford is going to get this chance. We'll also get to see Lance McCutcheon. He was the star. He was the nobody who shined last weekend in the victory over the Chargers. And he's another one who he shined so well that he became known. And he might be someone that teams may take a chance if he was released via waivers, and then even if he got stashed on the practice squad, someone who might be poached. We may see I heard that the Rams might even keep as much as seven receivers. That seems like a lot, but some of those guys are going to expect to play special teams, so at least they'll have multiple use of them. But we'll see. They're playing the Texans tonight, and we'll see how they do. A big game for the players who are kind of on the bubble of making the team, and it's important for them to play well. And then the next weekend, they close the regular season against the Cincinnati Bengals before opening up the season September 8th against the Buffalo Bills. So football is here. Also, I wanted to talk a little bit about the UC Board of Regents met this week in kind of a backlash to UCLA announcing that they're gonna move to the Big Ten, leaving the Pac-12 conference, and that upset some people and upsets some of the UC Regents, including Governor Gavin Newsom, and it's kind of unsure what the Board of Regents can do, whether they can stop that move or not. At best, they might have to, it might be a court battle. And this seems to be the best possible move for UCLA. It's a break in tradition, obviously, but from a financial point of view, it really should help the athletic department in a variety of ways. And so hopefully this is just something they're looking into, just kind of a front to, kind of like a political front, because this, to me, it seems like it's a waste of time. this is something that is good for UCLA, and hopefully they understand that. And also, I wanted to just mention a little bit on the high school football season opened Thursday night, and my alma mater, Northview, opens up the season tonight. They'll be at Muir High School. Northview coming off a CIF Southern Section Division 10 championship. So we'll see what they lost some key players, but they should really have a really good season, chance to win league again. And then you don't know what playoff division they'll be in, but good team with a good chance. The most important thing is to prepare for league and win league, and have a tough game tonight. Muir is always tough because of the athletes that they have, and we'll see if what Northview can do. Should be a good game, and we'll see how that goes. So that's about all I have to say for kind of previewing the weekend. Next week, I hope to look at UCLA's schedule and do a little projection video on that. But until next time, I will see you later. Have a good weekend.